Sorry for the delay. Atmat Gurubhyo Namaha, Atmat Parama Gurubhyo Namaha, Atmat Sarva Gurubhyo Namaha, Śrī Kṛṣṇa Parabrahmane Namaha, Śrī Lakshmi Narasimha Parabrahmane Namaha, Śrī Lakshmi Hayavadana Parabrahmane Namaha, Sarvam Śrī Kṛṣṇārpanamastu. I hope you can hear me well. Can you?
Yes, we can.
Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, namaskaram to everybody. What I will do today is, since we started late, I was not feeling very well, but still we'll continue with the class. Nothing serious. So what we can do is quickly finish up the portions today. Okay, instead of any break for question answers in the middle, what we will do is we will break after the lecture. So we'll go straight. The reason is also that the information here in the third chapter is pretty straightforward. Nothing new, no new concepts are brought except for some very good references and arguments given by Madhvācārya. Okay, it's very interesting. Just before I start, I just want to remember something I sent on the Bhagavad Gītā group about be careful about a person who has studied only under one guru. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I read it this morning.
Yeah, that's something which we are avoiding, right? We are looking at three different views with a very impartial assessment. You can believe in whatever you want to believe, but an impartial assessment is very valuable. I think just as a personal experience, as a personal knowledge, what I have experienced in my own life, till I was about almost 45 years of age, I studied only Ramanuja mainly, or believed in Ramanuja mainly, and I used Advaita as only a Purva Paksha. I said, oh, I need to know because otherwise I won't understand Ramanuja anyway, right? So I used this as a Purva Paksha only just to bash up Advaita. My whole purpose was, how do I condemn it? How do I argue against it? How do I learn to tackle their questions and defeat them? That was the only idea. Later on, when I studied Advaita more deeply, I understood the value of Advaita. And then I started studying Madhvācārya. So Madhvācārya is almost like, here and there I studied Madhvācārya. Even my gurus, many of my gurus have taught about, all these three bhashyas my gurus have taught about earlier. But my mentality was different. But now, if you look at it, I think there is a lot of good things we can learn from all these acharyas. And more impartial you are, you think properly, then you know what kind of conviction will form in your own mind. That's very important to understand. Just with that introduction, let me go further. Where is this? Okay. 3.18. What is that? Does anyone bring my book here? That's okay. Okay, let me just look at the verse so that we are 17, 18. Naiva tasya kritena na kriteneha kaschana na chasya sarvabhuteshu kaschit arthavyapashrayaha. So the thing is, that shloka we were explaining, we have already explained that. Arjuna was a Jnani, according to Madhvācārya, and he was advised to do Yuddha. So even Jñānīs have to do karma, Vaidika karma, for sure. Once they are out of Samadhi sthiti. So if some Jnani does not do Vihita karma, or whatever was prescribed in the Shastras, or if he does a major mistake, major papa karma, major sin, like Vritravadha. So Vritrasura Vadha was explained last time, we mentioned this. See, last time I was not very clear about why this Vritrasura Vadha came into picture. Vritra was a devotee of Mahavishnu and he had to be killed. So what should we understand? That to Indra kills Vritra. So here what we have to understand is, from the Indra's perspective, it is prarabdha. That means he had some bad karmas and that had to take effect. So him killing Vritra was somewhat forced by his own purva karmas. Or the divine, obviously divine will of Hari is also in play here. So the death was predestined. The death of Vritra was predestined. For some other reason, Vritra did also. That we need to understand in that sense. For a Jnani like Indra, whatever bad he did, what will happen eventually once he gets Mokṣa, that person's whatever punya he does, that will increase his ananda or bliss. But he will do any kind of papa, his ananda will be decreased at that time. One question comes up. Don't you think punya papas have to be zeroed out in moksha? In the moksha it says punya pape vidhuya. Yeah, when somebody gets to moksha, punyas and papas will go away. Afterwards, whatever it is there, the bliss is bliss, and whatever papa. But the bliss can change, right? Whatever level of bliss somebody gets, that can change because that depends on hierarchy of the Jivatmas. Jivatmas belong to some 33 categories according to Madhvācārya. So their bliss is not common. It is not same to everyone. So it will obviously be in some kind of a hierarchy level. It could be different for different people. So a person, you have to make a separation here. If that person is already a mukta, then he doesn't come back and he doesn't have to do any karma. But if person is not a mukta, he may be a jnani. If a jnani does major mistakes, he will have to experience problems right during that time, or when he gets moksha, that will reduce his ananda, and that will stay constant in moksha. So only during a samadhi sthiti, a person need not do karma. The vihita karmas or prescribed duties can be avoided only in the samadhi sthiti. And for a mukta, obviously, there is no need for karma. For a jnani, one has to do karma. We have already studied all these things. I'm just summarizing. What the summary here is, Advaitis think that even if somebody is not in samadhi, that person can give up Shastra Vihita karma or karmas prescribed in the Shastras. This view is inappropriate and against the knowledge given in the Gita. 3.19, the next shloka we take up. Tasmat asakta satatam karya satatam tasmat asakta satatam karyam karma samachara asakto hyacharan karma param apnoti purusha. Except mukta and one in asamprajñāta samadhi, the rest of everyone should do Niṣkāma-karma, that is desireless actions dedicated to the Lord Hari. So, doing karma or the being subservient to the dictates of the Shastras is for everyone, other than one in Samadhi and one who is already a Mukta. Yato asampragnata samadherava karya bhava tasmat karya tasmat karma samachara. Well, Arjuna, you're not in asampragnata samadhi and you're not a Mukta. So work on it, you do the yuddha. This is dharma yuddha. And do it as a worship of Hari. Yasmat amuktasya karyam astyeva tasmat asaktaha. Asaktaha acharanyeva yasmat paramapnoti. Muktasyeva karyam nasti ityeva kararthopi astviti tu shabdena avagataha. This all validates the same idea which we are talking about. Tasmat karma samachara iti upasamhara virodhascha anyatha. So the thing is, what is the final dictate for Arjuna? Do the job, get into the fight. So all others are not free from the dictates of the Shastra. Here it is very interesting, right? Because Advaitins or the Śaṅkarācārya clearly says, look, Arjuna is a Manda Adhikari. Manda Adhikari means he is not a Jnani. He is a Avidwan, not a Vidwan. Avidushaha, Vidushaha, right? He separates out into two categories. The person who is Vidwan or Jnani, the person who is Avidwan, who is an Ajñānī. Advaita thinks Arjuna belongs to the Ajñānī category. How do we decide this? How do we decide that Arjuna is a Uttamadhikari or he is a Jnani? How do we decide it? Madhvācārya takes up this task and quotes right from the Bhīṣma-parva of the Mahābhārata itself. Somebody should go pick up, check out this shloka in the Mahābhārata. I could not find, or I didn't have time to find which shloka in the Bhīṣma-parva is this particular one. This shloka says, Paramanishta Brahmarataha Brahma-jnana Sutarpitaha. Oh, these Pandavas, do you know? They are Brahmanishta, they are focused on Brahman. They totally love Brahman. They have the knowledge of Brahman. Pandavanam cha muktanam antaram kinchidevahi. These Pandavas who are Brahmanishtas, they are very close to Muktas. There is no much difference between Pandavas and Muktas. That means they are very, very elevated Jñānīs, obviously, right? And this is said right in the Mahābhārata, where the Bhagavad Gītā is also there. So this particular reference picked up by Madhvācārya is very unique because he is not talking about some particular reference in Brahmatarka or some other work where other people don't have a knowledge about those works. He is picking up right from Mahābhārata. So I had not seen such a reference earlier. So it shook me. Oh, we got to pay attention to Madhvācārya, man. This is not just using references from somewhere where nobody can verify. So you got to pay attention and say, oh, there's something here to think about. I'm sure the Advaitins would have thought about this. They would have. Advaitins are not sitting idle. They would have their own views on this. So that's a different question. But at least I thought it was good that Madhvācārya is picking up something different. I had not seen this even in the Ramanuja Bhashya or Vedantish Bhashya, as far as I know. Maybe they wrote and I didn't pick it up. Okay, that's all. I didn't read properly. So. Atmaratirevasya shabdena muktanam ebhyo vishesho darshitaha. Atmaratirevasya, that word says, other than Atma, there is no other rati. They don't like anything other than Atma. It's very unique because they don't need even breathing. Why? We are all we like breathing, right? We are attached to our lives. That is not there for Mukta because that Mukta doesn't need a physical body. So, pure Atmarati or purely delight, a person purely in bliss and always focused and in awe of Atman only, that state occurs only in Moksha. That's what Madhvācārya refers here. Esham kadachit dukha bhasasyapi bhavat. For Pandavas, here and there, they went through some difficulty while being, ill-treated by the Kauravas, being sent to the forest, and they were forced to live incognito in the forest, and it was tough life. But that is the dukkha abhasa. Dukkha abhasa means it's just a show of dukkha. Mentally, they were very strong. They didn't feel perturbed. But dukkha is only a show, superficial sorrow, nothing of great depth. They were never shaken. Their purpose. They were brave. So this is because they were Jñānīs. The next sloka is Karmanaiva hi samsiddhim mastita janakadeha Lokasaṅgraha mevapi sampashyan kartumarhasi. It generally says Janaka and those kings were attained siddhi while doing karma itself. And even a Jnani should think about Lokasaṅgraha, not to disturb the public, to guide the public. They should also do karma. Acharopyastiha karmanaivaiti. Achara means tradition. Janaka and those kings had a tradition that they were doing karma, even though they were capable of only Jnana Yoga. And they were Jñānīs, but still they were doing karma. Karmanasaha karma kurvanta eva ityartaha. That means they were doing karma all the time. Karma kritvaiva tato jnanam prapyava natu jnanam vina. So thing is, karmanaiva hi samsiddhim mahasita janakadeha means they attained perfection just by karma. What does it mean? They were doing karma only, but they got jnana through karma, and through jnana only they get moksha. So don't think that through karma you can directly get moksha. That is an error. That should not be interpreted anywhere. No Shastra statement should be interpreted like that. I had told you earlier that you cannot take textbooks as it is. Just literally, if you take text, the vachanas literally, you will make mistakes. And many people are very textbookish. They will take, they will take particular line in the text or Shastras and say, oh, that is it. I cannot go against it. There are a lot of things. Every rule has an exception. That's one thing. And my teacher, Śrī Kṛṣṇa Swami, used to say, Vachanam vechinde decision edukade. Vachanathula decision edutunda romba mistake. You will get into a lot of problems if you just take vachanas as very, very serious and that vachana is untouchable kind of a thing. You cannot have. This is a very powerful knowledge because I was very textbookish when I first started. I used to attack Advaita based on textual analysis, like Natveva aham jatu nasam natvam neme janadipaham nachaiva nabhavishyamah sarve vayamatah param. Plurality is said here and eternality is meant here. There are plural eternal things forever. Just based on that, Advaita is wrong. That was my idea, and I was very headstrong, proud that I had learned some Sanskrit and Vedanta very early in life, and I used to go and argue without any knowledge of the other Shastras. That is wrong. One should, for example, there is one vachana in the Bhagavad Gītā. Jātasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu dhruvam janma mritasya cha. What does it mean? Jātasya hi dhruvam mrityuhu. Person who is born, will definitely end up dead one day. He will definitely die, he or she. Jatasya hi dhruvam mrityuh. Dhruvam janma mritasya cha. Certainly, a person who died will get another body and that person will be born again. What does it mean? If you take this vachana or the word of Gita, the sentence of Gita, 100% that it is true, then there is no question of moksha. Everybody is stuck in the cycle of birth and death because a person who is born is going to die, a person who is dead is coming back again in some body. So why do you worry about moksha? You should close the Bhagavad Gita book right there and enjoy. It will lead to hedonism, charvaka mata. So we should never take any particular statement seriously. That is why we need the guidance of very well educated gurus, acharyas. That is why it's a manana. What is manana? Contemplation of the meaning. So Bhagavad Gita is not a very simple thing. You have to learn, think, and it is said, right? Bahubhi shrotavyam, bahubhyah shrotavyam. You learn among many people. You learn from many people. These are very important things we need to keep in mind. So coming back here, karma directly will not lead to moksha. So only jnana will give moksha, but karma will make you get jnana. This is common for even Advaita. Just want to let you know. There obviously in Advaita this is true. Okay. Prasiddham hi tesham jnanitvam bharata adishu. So the thing is, in Mahābhārata, the Pāṇḍavas are said as Jñānīs in different places. Only through Jnana one can get moksha. Karma leads to Jnana and then to Mukti. In fact, the Tamevam Vidvan Amrita Ihabhavati is one there, right? Tameva Viditva Adimrutyumeti Nanyah Panta Vidyate Ayanaya. All these statements indicate only through jnana. With means knowing. Veda is knowledge. Knowing that Purusha, only that leads to moksha. Atrapi karmanam jnana sadhanatvakteścha buddhi yuktaha iti. So the thing is, after karma you will get buddhi. So the thing is that buddhi yukta means jnana only there. Gatyantarancha nanyah panta ityasya nasti. Iteresham Jnanadvaradapi avirodha. So there are other statements called a famous statement, Apāmasomam Amrita Abhuma. This is in the Vedas somewhere. I couldn't get the reference. Someday I will pick up the reference for you. Apāmasomam Somam Amrita Abhuma. They drank the Soma juice after doing the yajnas. And they get Amrita. That they became Amrita means they became immortal. They attained moksha. So the thing is, oh, what does it mean? No. They did yajnas and they got jnana, and through jnana they get moksha. You have to understand only in that way. That's what Madhvācārya is saying. How do you decide it? The rest of the Vedas, that is the knowledge of the entire gamut of the Vedanta and everything, and also supported by the great itihasas and Puranas. If you understand it properly, this is the meaning you get. Yatra tirthadhyaiva. Tirthadhyaiva mukti sadhana muchyate. Brahmajnanena va muktihi. Prayaga maranena va. Sometimes just going to a pilgrimage to a tirtha sthala, it says mukti comes. Prayaga maranena va. It says, if you go die in Prayaga, that person gets moksha. So why do I need Brahmajnana? All I have to do is kill myself, go to Prayaga, kill myself. Or go to Kumbh Mela and get into a stampede there. Or create a stampede so that other people also will get moksha. That is not the right understanding. Snanamatrena Gomatyam. In the Gomati river, just by taking a shower, you will get moksha. Krishna Sannidhau. Somewhere in a Krishna temple you die, near that temple you die, then you get moksha. These are all, what is the moksha? Moksha is a very, word moksha means release. You have to ask a question, from where do you get release? Papat moksha. So the thing is, you get release from the papas or the sins. So sometimes it is papas moksha, sometimes janma marana moksha. That means true moksha or complete escape from birth, a cycle of births and deaths. So you have to understand Shastras properly. Suti Paratacha. Sometimes Prayaga Kshetra is extolled, such a great thing. Ayo, if you just go die there, that is it, you'll get moksha. Means eventually. Tatrapi kutrachit brahmajnana sadhanatve uchyate anyatha muktim nishedhya. Brahmajnanam vina muktir na katanchit api ishyate. Prayagadestu ya mukti jnanopayatva mevahi ityado. There are several statements which says, without brahmajnana one cannot get moksha. Prayaga, marana and all those things are said only to get you jnana. What do you call, their mukti will come eventually after you get jnana. Nachatirtasthiti vakyani tat prastave yukta jnana niyamam granti. That means the jnana niyama, that is the requirement of jnana for moksha, cannot be flouted. So that is a very hard rule. Yatha kadanchit daksham bhrityam pratyuktani ayameva hi raja kim rajña ityadini. Statements sometimes are given in a context we need to understand properly. Suppose there is a servant of the king who is very capable. Some people may even say, oh, ayameva hi raja, this servant itself is the king. What is the use of the king? All I need is the servant. Those statements should be taken as this person is a very capable person who is serving the king. I don't need to take help from the king because he is good enough for me. Something like that. Yataha Bhagavan Jnānī tirthādi vakyādi karmādi visayāni ca stavakānyeva tāni syura ajñāna mohakāni va. So the Tirtha Prashastya are the Tirtha Salas, the places of pilgrimage are extolled sometimes to delude the ordinary people. The ordinary people, they are good enough. They are not good enough. They are not thinking properly. Oh, let them get deluded. It doesn't matter. Bhave mokshastu madrishte nanyatastu kathanchana iti naradiye. The thing is to directly get the vision of the Lord. Jnana is essential. Nothing else can help. That is said in the Naradiya Purana. Ato Aparokṣa-jñāna deva moksha. Only through direct vision of the Lord. Aparokṣa-jñāna, the direct knowledge of God. That is moksha. Karma tu tat sadhanameva. Karmas only will get you prepared for that. Taha eva karmana siddhimastitaha janakādeha jnana nishtaha api varnashramochitam iti cha. Even the Jnana-nishtas have to do varnashrama-karma. Based on their varna and ashramas, they have to do the suitable works. Ajñānām jnanadam karma jñāninām lokasaṅgrahat. So for Ajñānīs, the vihita karmas in the Shastras will give jnana. Jñāninām lokasaṅgrahat. Even the jnani should think about the others. You should not give up karmas. Even if that person is capable of giving up karmas, should not give up karmas, because Lokasaṅgraha is Vishnu-priti. So you are helping the community. You are not dissuading public. If Krishna thinks that, why should I worry about Sandhya Vandana and daily duties, whatever that, or Pitrakaryas or any duties. If he says that and he gives up, the other people will follow and they will fall into a major, major problem. They may even go to Naraka eventually. So you should not misguide the public. Adhaiva tushtidam mahyam sa mukta ananda purtidam. The thing is, you have to, so the thing is, in a way, karma cannot be avoided. Janma, 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 you have to be purifying yourself, becoming a jnani. But even after jnani, you cannot give up karma. You have to still be doing karma. That will give the preeti to the Lord. That will please the Lord. Yadidacarati shrestha tattadevetaro janah sayat pramanam kurute lokastadanuvartate. Whatever the great people do, others follow. They will think that that is the way to live. So very important to guide public property. So that is okay. That's the same thing. Śrī Bhagavān name partasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kanchana nanavaptam avaptavyam vartaye vacha karmani. I don't have anything to do in these three universes. Bhuhu bhuha suvaha could be. Nanavaptam avaptavyam vartaye vacha karmani. I don't have to attain anything which I haven't attained. And then, so I still continue to work. It is like a natural expression. Mamaiva kevalam nasti kenapyartha tatapyaham. I don't get any benefit from this. Karmakrad loka rakshayai tasmat kurvita matparaha. So the thing is, even a jnani should help others to protect the community. And this is said in the Krishna Samhita. Rakshaya vata srishtya va samhrityader natu kvachit artho vishnos tatapyesha svabhavaha sarvakarma krite matto nritadikam yad kuryat sukha visheshataha. He says, Rakshaya vata srishtya va samhrite. Rakshana means protection, srishti, creation, or dissolution, samhriti. In all these things, I don't get any benefit. But still, by nature, I do all this creation, dissolution, and protection. Matto nritadikam edvat. Very happy person dances naturally. He doesn't get any benefit of the dance. It's an expression of the bliss of that person or the joy of that person. Paramananda rupatvat punyad Vishnu tataivathu. So Vishnu is doing the same kind of acts. Even the Jñānīs should do act similarly. Yadi hyaham navarteyam jatu karmani atandritaha mamavartmanu vartante manusyaha partha sarvashaha. Tandritaha means laziness. Atandritaha means without laziness. So the thing is, if I stop working and due to some laziness or something, mamavartmanu vartante, people will follow me and they will become lazy. That's what Lord Ishvara Krishna is saying. Utside yurime lokaha. People will go to Naraka eventually, following my example. If I don't do work, they will get into trouble. Śaṅkarācārya kartasyam upahanyam yamaprajaham. Śaṅkara means we are creating mixing. Why does the mixing occur? Because people who are incapable of jnana will give up karma. If people who don't have jnana will give up karma. Right? All this kind of mixing occurs because they don't understand whom they are following. They don't understand their own nature. Saktaha karmanya vidvamso yatha kuvanti bharata puryad vidvans tata sakta chikesho lokasaṅgraham. So a jnani should work just like the ajñāni. Ajñāni is attached to actions. Oh, I do this, I win. I am the doer. I am the winner. I better do this. This kind of activity is there for the ajñāni. But a jnani should also do all the work without any attachment. But the ajñānis do it with attachment. Doesn't matter. One, the jnani should work for lokopakara or to help everybody to become an example to the world. No buddhivedam janayata ajñānam karma sanginam. So if you don't stop working, the ajñānis who are actually attached to action, give up action. You should joshayat sarvakarmani. Joshayat means approve. Approve all these actions of the ignorant ones. Doesn't matter. But you also keep on doing the action so that they follow you. Doesn't matter. Prakṛti kriyamanani gunaihi karmani sarvashaha ahankara vimūಢātma kartāham iti manyate. here this is a very important verse. Madhvācārya takes a slightly different view, obviously. Prakritehi kriyamanani gunaihi karmani sarvasha. Prakriti does all the work. Ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manite. The person is deluded by ahankara, thinks that he is the doer. This is the general meaning of that original verse. But the way Madhvācārya understands it, look, Prakritehe gunaihi kriyamanani. That means gunaihi should be taken as indriyas. Prakritehe, because the indriyas are what? Eyes, ears, and all these are products of Prakrti. Jīva is dependent. Jīva is sitting here in the body. Jīva doesn't have the independence. He is also a karta. He is a doer, but he is dependent on Hari. Because he is the Pratibimba or the reflection of Hari. The reflection only moves when the object moves. When the Bimba moves, reflection moves. So if Hari is blessing, the Jiva can act only as a dependent actor. Jada Prakriti or the matter is known as Pradhana. And Apradhana means not matter or caused by matter. The caused by matter is the Indriyas. That is, the Indriyas are the senses. Sometimes we say, my mind is not working today. How come? It is your mind. Because your mind is different from you. And that mind is a product of the Pradhana or Prakriti or matter. You are not a product of matter. You are stuck in the body which has all these things. So, deluded one thinks he is the doer. Vidwan or knowledge, Jnani knows he is a doer only if Hari allows him to do. So he borrowed the doership from Hari. He is not an independent karta or doer. Jiva is dependent. Sattva, Rajas, Gunas, Sattva, Rajas, Tamo Gunas, they are the upadana, or they are the materials. And Deha, Indriya, Antah-karana are sadhanas. They are instruments. Deha is the body, the mind and intellect, and Deha, Indriyas, the senses, they are all tools. Jnani knows Hari's Ichha-jñāna. It's an important point here. Hari is the independent. He has got Jnana, Ichha, Gunas. That means he has desires, knowledge, and he acts. He has different kinds of attributes. He drives the entire individuals, millions and billions of them, maybe trillions, including the animals and insects and everything. That is all driven by the Jnana, Ichha, Kriya, the actions, desires, and the knowledge of Hari. So the Indriyas are also driven by the Lord Hari. Naturally, our Indriyas get stuck with the objects of senses. Touch, Shabda, Sparsha, hearing. We get attached to external things. 1 second. So we need to understand the nature of different things which are here. We are not one. We are all, even the Jīvas are of different kinds. Paramatma is independent, Jīvatmas are dependent. Even the Jīvas cannot get away from their category. Why? There are three, see, there is one thing known as Jīvas are Baddha, Mukta. 1 second, please. Uttama, Adhama, Madhyama. There are three categories of Jīvas. Uttama is Ajñānīs. Madhyama is medium. Adhama is low category. So the Uttamas have Sattvika Guna. Madhyamas have Rajasa Guna. Rajasa predominant. And tamasa gunas are low, what you call stupor, laziness, and all those ignorance and all. That is for the lower level jivatmas. They are for asuras. But these gunas come from the Prakṛti, because we are bound in Prakṛti. We also get these gunas. So the true, Anyatha-jñāna means wrong knowledge. The wrong knowledge is what the asuras have, the tamasic people have. And Mishra-jñāna, or mixed knowledge, is what the middle class people have. And the Uttama-jñāna, true knowledge, is what the higher class have. The Uttama adhikaris are devatas. Madhyama adhikaris are jivas, like us, that is human beings, manushas. And the lower adhikaris are like animals and rakshasas, and that is asuras and all. So we cannot escape the category we belong to. We are human beings, means we only act like human beings. We do mistakes. We have mixed knowledge, not true yathartha-jñāna or true knowledge. So Prakrti also undergoes transformation, right? And the transformation of the Prakrti is also in the form of body, mind, and senses. Knowing all these things, that we are stuck in this body, a jnani does work, but Ajñānī gets attached to everything. Vidvad avidishoha karma veda maha. So the jnani sitting in the same body works differently, and Ajñānī works differently. We need to understand this. Whatever we talked about, the same thing. Pratibimba kriya. That means that the reflection Jīva does not have independent capability to act. Tattva vittu mahabāho gunakarma vibhagayoho gunaha guneshu vartante iti matvana sajjate. So tattvavit, a jnani, will understand guna and karma. That means all the things we said, jivatmas are different. Our body, mind, indriyas and senses work in a different way. So we have to manage all these moving parts and different things. Knowing all these things, guna guneshu vartante. Guneshu means objects. Gunaha is our nature. Sattva rajastamo gunas will go and get attracted to objects. So, but jnani does not get affected by it. He knows that, okay, this is happening because of a lot of issues, but I have to do the right thing. He does not get attached, that's all. Mainly he says, I don't need this. My attachment is only to Hari, not to all these things. Karma bhedasya, guna bhedasya cha, tattva vitu gunaha indriyadini. Guna means indriyas. So here guna, the word guna is taken as indriyas in Madhvācārya. That we need to understand. Prakrtehe gunasammudaha sajjante gunakarmasu tāna Krishna vidu mandāne Krishna vidu na vichalayete. So the thing is, the ordinary mortals are overpowered by the Prakrti gunas, the gunas of their body, and they get attached to the guna-related actions. They don't know the truth. They are mandha, are dull-headed. But the knower of truth should not disturb them. Prakrtehe guneshu, prakrtehe guneshu indriyadishu sammudaha indriyad yabhimana vidha viṣiṣṭādvaita gunakarmasu viṣeshu karmasu cha shabdhadya indriyadyascha sattvadyascha shubhani cha. So thing is, one should understand, people are deluded. If you know people are deluded, teaching them is futile. If you teach deluded people, they will never understand. Delusion is very powerful. So we need to understand the nature of people before you start teaching them. They think that their indriyas are theirs, that is, their senses are theirs. They are actually products of Prakrti, but they don't understand. Whatever is good for the indriyas, somebody likes touching something. Oh, my indriyas like the good touch of this. That's what they think. They don't care what happens. They will try to touch. They will get into trouble. So a jiva should not be a slave of the indriyas. Indriyas are different. the skin doesn't change its nature. Eyes do not change its nature. Ears is for hearing only. Skin is for touching and feeling only. Right? So the thing is, they are different. You are different from all these. You have to separate yourself out and be careful and not get stuck and attached to the experiences given by the connection between the senses and sense objects. Apradhanani cha gunaha nigadyante niruktakaihi ityabhidhanate. There is also a term called apradhana for gunas or for indriyas. Mayi sarvani karmani sanyasya adhyātma-cetas nirāshihi nirbamo bhutva yudhyasva vikata jvaraha. This is a wonderful shloka of the Bhagavad Gītā 3rd chapter. This is the central message of the 3rd chapter. What does it mean? Mayi sarvani karmani sanyasya adhyātma-cetas. Offer everything to me with the true knowledge that is the true knowledge. Nirāshihi nirmamo bhutva, without any attachment or desires, without having, oh, it's for me, it's for me. Don't put yourself in the center. Don't be selfish. Yudhyasva vigata jvaraha. Go fight without any hesitation. Ato sarvani karmani mayyeva sanyasya. Dedicate all actions to Hari. Bhranthitaha jive adhyo aropitani. You think that all these actions belong to you. The fruits of actions belong to you. They don't. That's an error. That is delusion. Give up that delusion. Bhagavaneva sarvani karmani karoti. He does all actions. He gave you the body. Remember that. And all actions are only the worship of the Lord. With this attitude, do. I am not acting independently. God is doing it, not me. And that is sannyasa. And that is nirmamata. That is, you are not doing for yourself, for worship of God only. He is making me do. This is his worship. The fruits are also his, not mine. His grace is only the goal. All I need is his grace. Atmanam mam adhikritya yachetah tad adhyātma-cetas. Tad adhyātma-cetas. Whoever knows that I am the center, I am the controller, I am the power, I am the giver of everything, I am the goal, I am the giver of the path to goal, I am the helper to everybody. All these things, if you know, that is Adhyātma-cetas. That is with the right attitude. Sannyasastu Bhagavan karoti. I am not the actor, he does it. But you do it, knowing that he is helping you do. You are not the independent actor. Nirmamatvam naham karomiti. I am not doing it. It is him. Naham karta harih karta tat puja karma chakhilam. This is called as, like a powerful statement, headline statement in the Madhva Bhasha. Even in a temple, sometimes they write this huge words. Naham karta harih karta tat puja karma chakhilam. Everything is a worship of the Lord. I am not the doer, Hari is the doer. This is very central to Madhva Bhashya. Tatapi matkata puja mat prasadena nanyatha tad bhakti tatphalam mahyam tat prasada punah punah karmanyaso haravevam vishnosthati karasada yasmat swatantra kartatvam vishnoreva nachanyagam. This is from Gita Tatparya, another Bhashya written by Madhvācārya. This is the Gita Tatparya. Let me get that prasada, the grace of the Lord, again and again and again. I give up all of my actions to just please Vishnu. Swatantra kartatva, that is independent kartatva or agency, is only Vishnu and nobody else's. Vishnu's and nobody else's. Tadadhinam swatantratvam swavaro swav are arop arapekshayevatu swa avarapekshayevatu jivasya vikritirnama kartritvam jada samshayam uman dogda cha dogdhri cha stano dogdheti patkramat. The Jiva, Paramatma is this independent doer. He is a karta, right? Jivasya vikritirnama kartritvam. Jiva attains changes. He also has kartatva, but dependent on the Hari. Jada ashrayam. And Jiva is also in a body, which is actually matter. And using the matter, he does as matter as tools, using the body as a tool. We should say it is like the analogy for Mandogdha. A milkman, milks the cow, right? He is the dogda. The cow gives milk. Even cow is the dogdhri. And stano dogdhe itivat kramat. Even the udder which showers the milk, even that is the doer. But they're all dependent. So in this way, you have to understand Paramatma, Ishvara, that is Vishnu, and Jiva, who is dependent, and also the matter, which are the tools. All are in a way, even the tools are actors, but they are not independent actors. Brahmatarka vachanat Ishvara Jiva Prakrti Adinam Kartatvam Akartatvam cha Vibhagena Jnatavyam Sarvatra. When somebody says he is Akarta, Jiva is Akarta, means you should not say Akarta. He is not independent Karta. He is not independent agent, but he is not no agent. Right? You got to understand it suitably based on the context of these things. Sometimes the word Swabhava is also refers to Prakriti or matter. Sometimes Swabhava means Trigunatmika, that is the three Sattva Gunas. Prakriti, so the Kvachit Prakrishta Kartatvat Bhagavan Prakriti Hari. So think Prakriti can refer to Hari also sometimes because he is the main doer. Prakarshena Karta, right? So thing is, Shabda Nirnaya is the thesaurus of words. So you need to understand words properly. Swabhavatas Tridha Jivaha Uttama Adama Madhyamaha. By nature, Jivas have three kinds. Uttama, Adama, Madhyama. Uttama Devadis, that is the higher ones are the Devas. Martyaha, Adamas, mortals or middle. Adama, Asuradayascha. Asuras are the lower category. Naisha Masti, Anyatha Bhavaha. They don't change the category. The Asuras don't become Suras. Suras don't become Asuras just like that, right? But the thing is, you need to understand the Jaya Vijayas were actually the servants of the Lord in Vaikuntha, apparently. They fell off because of the curse of the Sanaka Sanandanas, because they insulted the Sanaka Sanandanas. They didn't let them in or something like that as gatekeepers. So Jaya became Asuras. But that's only external body which became Asura. They got the Asura Prakriti or Asura body. After 3 Janmas, they went back and became Jaya and Vijaya. So their true nature came up afterwards. Sharira Matra Anyatha Svajatim Punareshati. After getting different bodies, they will go back to their original status. Uttama Mukti Yogyastu, Sriti Yogyastu Madhyamaha. The Uttama people are deserving of Mokshas. Moksha only, mainly the Devatas are the Mukti Yogyas. Sriti Yogyastu Madhyamaha. The mortals keep on rotating in the cycle of births and deaths. Apare Andhatamo Yogyaha. The others, Asuras, go to darkness, that is blinding darkness. Sadhana Purti. But they keep on have to do it. It's an eternal world. This kind of cycle keeps on going. Purti Abhavena Sarvesham Anadi Samskriti Smritam. So eternal, without beginning, these people are, all these categories are in action. Naiva Purtisha Sarvesham Nityakala Harichaya. Because of the Hari's divine will, which is eternal. All these things, the samsara is constantly moving. Ato anuvartate nityam samsaroyam anadiman. The beginningless samsara keeps on going. अतो अधमानां जीवानां मिथ्याज्ञानादयो अखिलाः स्वाभाविका गुणाज्ञेया मध्यमर्तेषु मिश्रिताः. So the thing is, for the downtrodden adhamas, they are mithya-jnana. They always have wrong knowledge. They have hatred, jealousy. Everything is wrong for them. So the martyas, the mortals have mixed gunas, good and bad. Tattvajnanam Vishnu Bhakti ityadyaha devatadishu. So devatas have natural Hari Bhakti and true knowledge. Karyate Hyavasha-karma sarvaistaiste prakriti gunaihi. People do their job because of their nature. Swabhavika gunanetan hetum krutva vishnuna karmasa kriyamaneshu kartahamiti mudadihi. But the Ajñānī will think that he is the doer. Manyate tadvat Vishnur gunaha ichchadayastu ye swabhavikeshu jīvasya kāmadayeshu sadaivatu perakattvena vartante swatantre mamana kuchite iti matva nasaktaham syat prito asya bhavati prabhuho. As long as one knows that the real doer, the real willer, the real reason behind everything is Hari. And if a person understands it and gets involved in this life, that person will not go wrong, and that is the right attitude. He becomes unattached to everything. And Vishnu Prito Bhavati. Hari will be very pleased with that kind of a Jnānī. Swabhava guna sammudaha jnānādi gunavattaram swatantriyenaiva kartaram chatmanam pratyajanate. The people overpowered by the nature of the indriyas, the experiences in the world, they think that they are the doers, they are behind everything. Swatantriyenaiva kartaram chatmanam pratyajanate. They think that they are the independent doers. Nobody can touch me. Nobody can do anything. I'm not bound. Did you see me in any jail or something? No, I'm not bound. They don't understand that they are bound in their own bodies. And they think that they are the doers. Tan gunan karma satchaiva Vishnuadinam nate viduhu. They don't realize the power of Vishnu, which is making them live and do all the work. Teshu ayogyeshu tattvajnastvam nati prakashayate. People who are like that, don't go teach them anything. If you are a knowledgeable person, don't give details. Don't give them the true knowledge, or give some little bit knowledge. Tad vadet vivada rupena, or just for an argument. If you don't give them any teaching, just to instruct them through an argument, give them something which they cannot solve, then they will start thinking. Now, Upadeshatmana kuchite, sabhyarupena va. Or if you are going to give a lecture with 1,000 people in the lecture or something, main points to say for the right people. And for the wrong people, let them think about it. Don't give the details. Or if somebody asks you, then you give something. If they don't ask, don't keep on giving them information. They will never understand. Buddhva pyaso yato nityam svabhanuga cheshtitaha. You understand? The nature of people don't change. The nature of people, it continues. You know that even if you tell something good to them, they will never understand. They will go back to their own natural frequency, and they will start doing all wrong things. So your whole upadesha or your teaching will be a waste. Swabhavanyanti bhutani nigraham kim karishyati. People follow their own nature. Your rules and regulations which restrict them have no effect. This is said in the Prakasha Samhita. Okay. I will stop here. Eme matamidam nityam anutishtanti manavaha shraddhavanto anasuyanto muchyante devi karmabhihi. This is the verse we will take up next time. I wanted to do this whole thing fast because I'm sure you know pretty much everything I have told till now. Any questions?
I do have a question, but I don't know. See, in the case of all three Acharya says, it is karma that leads you to jnana. In the other two, maybe jnana leads to bhakti. I can understand with Madhva and Rāmānujācārya that awareness is that the Jīva knows that we have to know that there is something driving the Jīva to do the actions. That is, that there is a Paramatma beyond the Jīva. But in the case of, very difficult for me to understand in the case of Śaṅkarācārya, when he says it is only avidya that is covering, there is no Jīva. Jīva and Atma are the same. So what is driving, how do we know, even in the Vivārika state, it is covered by avidya. So where is the Jīva? Where is the action? Who is, I mean, how are we to understand who is driving us to do the thing? And we say that it is the Leela of the Lord. Why should a Nirguna Brahman who does not know himself create a Leela like this?
See, you have to understand what is relative reality very well.
Yeah.
There is a Jīva. There is a Jīva for Advaita also, for Śaṅkarācārya also. But it is relatively real. It is real for us. Is there a Jīva? Yes. That Jīva, eventually only when you get Jnana, you see that everything is only Atman and nothing else. So, as long as you don't have that Jnana, there is a regular Jīva, there are all this. So, for the relative reality, everything what was said by Madhvācārya holds good in Advaita. So, Krishna is real, Krishna should be worshipped. All these things are Krishna. What is Bhaja Govindam written by Śaṅkarācārya? It is for all. Anything which is relativity is the main thing there. Vyavahara. When you think, it is Vyavahara. When you read a book, it is Vyavahara. When you read Brahma Sutra, it is Vyavahara. All the things we do here is Vyavahara. And everything is real, according to Śaṅkarācārya. There is no issue.
That means that he believes that there is a distinction in one level between the Jīva and the Paramatma, doesn't he? In the Vyavahara level.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Vyavahara level, there is a difference. It is just as any other. So, if you take Vyavahara level, I would say, roughly speaking, Śaṅkara, Ramanuja, Madhva, they all are identical views in the Vyavaharika level. No question.
For me, it's still difficult to understand the Vyavaharika. I have to read. It's like asking you a question after hearing the Ramayana, what is the relation between Rama and Sita? I feel
think for some time, it will sink in. It will take some time.
Okay, thank you.
Hope this class was useful, or it will be a revision for what you already know, right? Any comments on this class?
Interesting. It was very interesting and informative for me.
Okay. For me, I thought the Madhvācārya, where it refers to saying that Pāṇḍavas are Ajñānīs because it is said in the Bhīṣma-parva of the Mahābhārata, was an eye-opener for me. That was interesting to me. Okay. We will stop here. Asman Gurubhyo Mahatma Parama Gurubhyo Mahatma Sarva Gurubhyo Śrī Kṛṣṇa Parabrahmane Śrī Lakshmi Nrsimha Parabrahmane Śrī Lakshmi Ayavadana Parabrahmane Sarvam Śrī Kṛṣṇa Namaste. We'll have the Upanishad class tomorrow.